he won't. What's going on, YouTube? Hope everybody's doing great. Let me turn this blower off. Blower doesn't have a switch for off. Kind of weird. We gotta switch those called unplug. So you unplug A, and there you go. Then you get it, right? Okay, so we're on LT. Let's do LT. This, doing that, doing all kinds of stuff. What's up, mister? How are you been? Doing good, doing good. Just playing around, doing the old garage door biz. Recalibrating. That's what it is. Who's watching the Super Bowl today? Anybody watching the Super Bowl? Super Bowl's today, I guess. I didn't even know it. Oops. I think I got that. How cold? It is cold. It is approximately about 30. Let's say it's probably about 37 in the old garage. And this tank's empty, so we're gonna fire up another tank, but I think it's probably about 25 outside. So definitely cold enough to get the. I had to throw the bibs on. I had some skinny pants earlier. Oh, let's see. Oh. These got another tanks are different, aren't they? How cold is it there? Or should I say, how warm is it there? This one's called empty. Mr. 405 needs to come back. We're dying over here. It's kind of weird. I think the other night, there was a guy on the channel. He's over in the PA area, and he was saying they're pretty slammed. Which is a good thing. This one, I don't know what this one is status-wise. Let's check out this other one, shall we? Oh yeah, this one better be the next goblin. 70? Ooh, dog. I think we got like, I don't know what day it is. I think we get like 38. Oh boy. Am I looking forward to that? 30. Anything above 30 is good for me. Been trying to think really hard where is a good state to go to. Hate to go all the way to Florida, but Florida's okay, I guess, too. They got too much, seems like they got too much regulations. They're almost right there. They'd probably be what, California? California, then Florida would be next in line. I don't know. Maybe not. Hard to say. Oh, what you got? It's cold. Not sure. 3G? Yeah, 3G. I won't be watching the Super Bowl. I know that. It's not my flavor. Kind of lost it. It's turned just. It seems like all the stuff has turned almost like. Oh, that door is locked. I don't know. Super Bowl's turned into like. How do I explain it? It's like turned into the. It doesn't have any meaning anymore. You know, I kind of like used to like watching some of the big guys. You know, I even like kind of probably even like watching like Michael Jackson or something. But then it just really went down. It's just like, you know, boobies falling out. I don't know. It just don't seem classy anymore. Just I don't don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of, it feels like it turned into that Budweiser commercial. Yourself a fresh piece of juice there. Like a little heat. Uncles are fighting jets going to fly over Super Bowl. Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool to see. Wonder what is the temperature at the Super Bowl. 70s. Get to work. Oh my gosh. There's just, it's buried over here. I'm feeling you, man. It's like, probably gonna have the wife of Tron go out and get a bigger drill because for the old spring turner, so we can try it. So she's probably gonna go out from a marketplace, get a big old gear-headed, what the hell's going on with this? Why is this like this? Oh, it has a hashtag, so I don't like that. She's probably gonna go get the gear-headed Milwaukee. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do this one a little better. There you go. I ain't gonna do that little hashtag thing or whatever. I don't know what the reason was on that. What I'm doing is Caleb's been working, when he's working at the shop, he's running, he don't have these, we never have master links really there. They're always on service vehicles. So this one's discontinued, this model case. And since it was already labeled, this is what I used to carry on, I think this was on my trailer. So I'm just remarking them because they faded. You can see how that one looks beautiful. And I forget why I did the 0540. I don't know if that was a service spring to reorder. So then I'm converting it because I've been to a couple jobs that I'm going, oh boy, if I drop this master link, I am done. So they're getting converted over. So that's what you get to do on a Sunday. But I guess it's inside. I always like this setup. This really worked out really good for keeping them organized. Okay, so there's that one. See, Burke's in the house. What's up, Burke? It's been a little bit last we talked. Nice. Yeah, I heard that day we are staying busy enough. Service a few door installs. Have to find out what part of and who he works for or by himself. Yeah, I know. I tried to ask him a little bit. I think it was Luke. I think it was Luke the other day. I was kind of seeing what the economy was like since the old job numbers came out. You know, like I said, I don't think the economy is real strong. It's just right now for us, it's like one of those things. It happens every year. You get this little burst. You get you're almost like your tax season. You got commercial, but there isn't a ton of residential popping. It's like where they're just going, oh, I want to replace my door and make it look beautiful. It's not really the right time of year for us, anyways. Everybody's hibernating right now. I think I'll just leave 4. I'll have to reorder. They should reorder for the shop. Looks like 40 is plentiful. Look at all this. Can't believe they're not all rusted. Oh. I'll be going to my uncle's to wash. It was probably cold there. How can people stand that cold? I know. Isn't it crazy? How long is the Super Bowl going to go to, you think? Is it going to be like 9, 10 o'clock? I used to, since we have the power of YouTube, I used to get a, what do you call it? I used to just watch commercials on the YouTube, which used to could do. But they just gotten so wacky. Unless I hear some really big hype about something, but it's like last year. You probably don't even remember what happened last year. Just kind of fades in the wind. ML 4-0. Let's get a 4. And we'll get ourselves a 0 on there. Look at that beauty. Dudamus. I don't know. It's one of those things like, I don't know. It's kind of weird because you know, it's like me and Caleb normally don't. We're doing our own other stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm working on properties and stuff like that. And so we're jumping in. I'm trying to help out a little bit. But I don't think it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna possibly last. So it's kind of weird. And to be honest, some part of me says with these vehicles, like, I just looked at, what was it, like a 2020 Ford F-250 with 6.2 liter, which I do like the 6.2 liter, except it's got a lot of spark plugs. But it had the 10-speed. That was the first 10-speed that came out. And I was even asking the old AI, how common is it for these transmissions, the trash can drum in them, to go? And they said it's very common. And that was the first year. In the 2020 or whatever to 2022 was like the worst. I'm like, I was like, and I didn't even look up what a transmission, a 10-speed transmission. It seems like anytime you get over those 8 speeds, those 10 speeds, it's, you know, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000. And it's like, that's a hard pill to swallow on a vehicle. I mean, I could see like 2 to 4, maybe 6, maybe, you know what I mean? Depending on if you're getting something built better. But these vehicles are driving me nuts. The quality is just so horrible. So horrible. Let's do ML here. This is, what does this one say? ML? No. I tried asking Evan, because I think he messaged you too, Rusty, because he said something about that low headroom. And I just said, well, I said, far as I know, I said, you're not really supposed to put, you know, a jack shaft opener on low headroom track. And I mean, I know it can kind of do it if you're kind of experienced. You can cheat, make it happen, but it sucks. It's almost like you got to raise the track. You got to manipulate it so it almost wedges itself. It's kind of a goofy deal. But I asked him, I said, well, I had a picture of the truck, whatever. So I asked him, I said, well, how's that truck coming? You know, he didn't comment. I don't know if it was, he was like, whatever, or if he was like, because the one thing I noticed, it's a beautiful truck, by the way. I'm not bashing it. It's just hard sometimes with business. I said, you know, I know it don't have a back windshield, and that can be a pain sometimes to haul stuff. What the heck, man? All these ones don't have, normally they don't do this kind of stuff. We're gonna dump them out. All right, let's get this cleaned up here. I like them to have all the clips when you pull them out, clipped and ready to go. You know what I mean? There's one. There's two. There's three. And there is 4 for you. Now, this one. What's the skinny on this? That one's good and complete and wholesome. Got quite a few that are not. So they came off, which I don't know how they did. Maybe vibrations, bumps. Maybe I was in a rush at the time. Just threw them in there. Throw them in. There we go. Get that puppy in there. Just like that. Nice, please. That photo of the time I did it. He says, I told him to budget extra time and charge more. Yeah, they're not fun. I didn't really know what to say. My first thought was kind of like, then you should have built the jam down farther. If you don't have headroom, it's like, you should have walked. Get a genie in there. You only need like, what is it, 1.5 inches for spacing. I just can't trust this. I actually had a personal door the other day, and it did the whole bounce. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, that thing was frozen. I was like, I didn't realize it was frozen to the ground. And I was like, man, that bounced so hard. I thought, man, that might have. It was questionable. That might have threw the cable. I mean, probably not. It's one of those things. Up there, it seems like it's got to be worse. So, oh, that's right. This brown door, actually, that guy's got a genie jack shaft on there. So that's going to be interesting. I got to message that guy. He was a Facebooker. And imagine, of course, we tried to get it on the truck, and the Rich B door was great. I mean, the dude's like, I messaged him Sunday. He's like, we'll try to get it on for that Monday truck. I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you. And he says, what did he say? I hear through the secretary somewhere that ended up getting put on the wrong truck. I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, that happens. You know, can't be mad. At least he tried. I mean, who gets services on a Sunday, you know? And so I was like, whatever. Then, of course, this guy's got to come back. He's like messaging me. He's like, so when's this door going to be? Or how long? I think he wanted to know how long it was going to take. I said it only takes about a day or two. But he was saying how, his wife's getting mad. And I thought, they already had like 2 days. He already had 2 days in waiting to order it. Because I had a white door. I said, I got a white door in stock. And he says, I said, but he had a brown, so I offered it. I said, hey, it doesn't cost any more. I think 2 days later, finally got back. If he would have got back to me a little sooner, it would have got done a little sooner. Sometimes I think about carrying brown doors, but I guess that's like trying to carry black doors. I don't know. Ooh, getting way more jobs? That's awesome. Any tricks, Burke? Anything like think what's working better than others? Getting reviews, Google ads, just word of mouth, got a builder. I mean, all it takes is you can get into like certain builders and you're slammed. Certain people, property agencies if they pay. That's good. That one's good. This works out nice because I don't have to hold this. We are installing product that multiple years if installed correctly. Multiple backs if not. This is my theory. I'd like to hear yours, Rusty. So this is a situation I heard about. Go to a customer. This customer's, let's just say an hour away, one way. feel like, where do you draw the line? So go out to this customer. A technician already went to this customer once. Oh, thanks by the 2 likes too. If you don't mind hitting the like button, I appreciate it. So like AFD goes out there an hour away, right? And of course, technician fixes the door, says supposedly they hit it. Of course, no pictures, nothing. So it never even gets billed. It's just like, I guess it's under warranty. It's under a year. It's probably only 5-6 months into it. Now, this is the one I think I brought up that story that I was freaking out about. So there was another service call, and it got pushed off till another day because it's like, hey, you know what? This is not like a close job. The road conditions are horrible. We're slammed. So anyways, they go out there. Technician goes out there. And now I've been hearing this, and I'd like to hear if anybody else, but the stinking wall buttons, the commercial 3-button wall buttons. These little bad boys. Looks like I got an old. Oh, I got a new one right here. Old newer. I don't have to pull it out of the box. These things have gone to hell in a handbasket. Genie and Liftmaster. I bet I hear somewhere times 1 to 2 to 3 a month getting replaced. I'm like, how are these going bad? So something changed with these. I never had problems with wall buttons like this. These 3 buttons are, I mean, they're really simple. Like, I've never ever had problems with them. Like, you install them, the only time you have a problem is because somebody smashes them, you know what I mean? Or they're really worn out. They're like 20 plus years old and they're super worn out and the buttons are sticking. But these damn things are just having all kinds of problems. So something changed. So anyways, technician goes out, deems this button's bad, and changes it. Kind of sounds like we're gonna just eat it, right? No. Look, this is how I'm looking at it, right? I'm watching all these mechanics right now. I mean, this ain't just one mechanic either. I mean, this is like 6 to 8 different mechanics on YouTube, and they are having a hell of a time with parts. It doesn't matter if it's OEM, doesn't matter if it's this manual. I mean, like, they're just, watched a dude yesterday, right? Put a starter in. Did a really nice job, spent a couple hours, whatever. Starter doesn't work. It won't engage. It just zings. And this is the same thing right here. This is called stupid land. So I think what we should do is we warranty this stuff for you. That's the material. We will warranty the material. We do not warranty labor. So they're going to get a bill. And then what's beautiful about if they get a bill, right? They're going to get a bill. If they don't pay the bill, they want to dispute the bill, guess what? You've lost your service until you pay the bill. You know what I mean? Because I look at it like this. We just had a van worked on. Now, they were not say, hey, we did all the ball joints, upper and lower. They were bad. Not even a year old yet. How the hell does ball joints go bad in under a year? I don't know. But I did watch a guy say he won't buy the Napa Blue anymore because the ball joints are junk. I don't know if that's what they put on there. So probably within another year, the ball joints are going to go bad again. But, they charged $1,200 for labor. So I think you cover the material, right? If there is something defective, but there is labor. That's just how it works. Sorry, truck, gas, wear and tear, whatever, time, technicians. So I would say no more freebies. No more freebies. You have to charge, man. You have to charge. I do just have one loose. Did I miss one? I still got one. Where's the rest of it? Oh, there's that. Where's the clip? Where's the clip, Dip? Did I miss it? Maybe did I steal it? Maybe that one needs to be decommissioned. Okay. So these all look good. Looks good, but I'm missing the clip. Okay. We shall entertain this one more time. There's a clip in here. Hello, clip. Clip. No clip. It's okay. It's okay. I'll be able to sleep tonight. It's fine. I'm gonna throw it away. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna be a hoarder. Not gonna do it. It's going in the garbage. Somebody wants it. $9.99. I'll sell it to you for a deal. $9.99 plus shipping. Shipping's only $100. It's missing the clip. It's a great deal. Goodbye. I have a pick 'em up truck. That's fine. Like I said, man, I might be getting me a pick 'em up truck too. Undecided, yo. I mean, obviously I use a pick 'em up truck, but I still don't. I would not. If I had to be in this, no. Customer called me and said, Jeannie, wheel's not working. I said, doubt it, send me invoice. I did, but this was from another company. Dom said, sorry. I have a call back. Yeah. It's I guess it's kind of like it's like weird because like we had a guy he's kind of I don't know how to explain it. He's a smart guy. He's just kind of a grunt worker here and there. He gets disability type stuff, you know what I mean? So he works here and there. But anyways, he needed a spring. He brought his spring in, garage door spring, and he acted like, oh man, look at this thing, didn't even last. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how long? We don't know where you installed that. We don't know how old it is. You got an invoice, you know what I mean? So the cap was good. He charged him. I mean, probably gave him a little bit of a discount, but man, just can't stuff going out for free. Under a year, feel taken care of. Yeah. See, I mean, it kind of depends. It's like, so here's like, how do you say it? Like, I guess it's like it's so maybe it's different, right? But this is a customer that we don't even want. You know what I mean? It's an hour away, one way. We did it for a builder, and then it turned into nothing but like when I kind of came in and I was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, no. It's like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like when it threw a ripple into the system, like where basically, when I showed up and it's like, I'm like, what's going on here? Why is the truck and trailer and, the scissor lift? And they would have went all the way out there with a truck and trailer and scissor lift, wear and tear, tires, oil changes, brakes, blowouts, possibly on the side of the road rolled over. All because of this? No. Now, and the way it kind of played out was because the builder calls, right? And the builder don't give a rat's hiney. It's not off his dime. He just, looks like the knight in shining armor and calls the vendor, or the sub, and just says, hey, fix it. They called. And so, luckily, we did the right protocol. There was a really nice lady there, very nice lady, that went through, sent us videos, sent pictures, and we assumed originally it was the disconnect was pulled, but they didn't re-engage it, so that was, and basically knew it was a dock door, so we don't need a lift. All this stuff, right? It blows my mind. Like, it blows my mind. The more I do this, you know what I mean? Like, look what you're doing on a Sunday. You got to put all this stuff together. All these things these variables that depend on you that, if I look at this, I'm not billing somebody for this right now. This is just free time. You know what I mean? It's, it's like if you probably ever added up your time, you'd probably be like, holy smokes. So, if it was a customer in town, maybe. But the problem is this product is getting so much worse. Mr. Tanner even messaged me about a gate operator. I don't know how old it was. I think he was going to send me a picture. But I said, boy, I said, that sounds like a LiftMaster tech support type thing. Well, guess what LiftMaster does? Grand old LiftMaster. Imagine this. They would never do this. They told them basically, it's too old. We don't have information on it anymore. And all you can do is basically replace it. Oh, of course. Of course. You know what I mean? Like, and it's probably a better built machine than what's even now. And it's like, it just gets to be frustrating that you can't find products and stuff. And then the products they do give you are just so much inferior. And I don't know what breaks in these things, but I definitely know it's not a fluke because they've been going through, and it's a top seasoned tech that's been doing it. That's had this issue, and I know I was the original installer, the one. So I was hoping at least he was going to come back and say, "Oh, damn wire was off. You left a wire off." I'd be like, "Ah, man, must have been a phone call or something." But nope, bad wall button. Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. Probably should have discussed. I mean, I guess it was discussed because they. Well, actually, it was. It was. That's right. Because I talked to the no, say if it's under warranty, but otherwise we're charging a service call. And supposedly the customer was all fine and dandy with that. They got all their information. Of course, now that you really send a bill, you know what I mean? But I was trying to lay it out for them where I said, look, the way the world's going right now, I mean, this isn't my fault. This is not my fault. Something changed, and I just don't think, like I'm watching that one guy, Eric O was the one. And I mean, Eric was just flipping out, man. He's like, I can't stand how the way this industry's gone. He's like, yeah, good luck. He's like trying to get with Napa. He's like, and have them reimburse you, And I thought, yeah, I it's like everybody sits there and makes that seem like it's some glorious thing. I've had people tell me about the door manufacturers, and I'm like, that's like trying to call like a telephone company and trying to get service discontinued or something. You know how many people you got to go through, like 8 different people to finally like get your service shut off, where it's like if you got a burner card, a credit card, it'd be so much easier just to shut the credit card off, and then they call on you, be like, "Oh, your service." You're like, "Yeah, I don't want it anymore." "Oh, sir, about that." "Nope, don't want it. You don't have my credit card?" "Ski ya." That's the way I kind of think. But I can see where these technicians, and it's like I said, I mean, so you look at it, right? The one service van just got the upper ball joints. And I have to keep in the back of my mind that they have inferior products, right? So the van comes back and the tech's like, man, he's like, the steering feels funny in it. And it's like, steering feels funny? Like, sure it's just not broke in or something? No, man, it's like got weird, like almost feel like the power steering pump's like letting out. It's like, oh my gosh, really? And it's like, so I had to drive it the one day because I think he had to pick up a personal vehicle or something. So I was like, I'll just drive this. And all of a sudden we're turning and I can feel it. It feels like almost like when you kind of hit a rut in a 2-track, like you're turning, but it hit that rut and kind of feels like it binds up, but it mushes over. Like it was like, ooh, it's like, what's that? It's like, that does not feel right. So my guess is I'm going, well, it's probably it's the ball joints. You know what I mean? Like something's like there's a gnarly spot in the knuckle itself, and that's what's catching or something. They probably got another bad one, and so it was not very good timing. It was just bad planning. But anyways, the truck went in, and we got whatever day it was, Friday or Thursday, slammed. I mean, like 2 techs were basically taking personal vehicles out. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, you need vehicles, man. It's like, this is not a good time for this vehicle to be down. So of course, then the shop calls that's working on it, and I'm thinking this is something adjustment, something, nope. now it turns into, it's going to be another, the U joints or whatever on the steering column, which I have no idea how that affects, but I guess supposedly now that everything got tightened up, that's got to get fixed. So that's going to be another $1,200. And it's like, jeez, it's like, all because, you know what I mean? But this, I mean, if we would have installed good ball joints from the get-go, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't know what's going on, because obviously this, you know, this mechanic place has always been taught from AFD that we don't care about the price. Do what you got to do and give us good quality work. You know what I mean? Like OEM, whatever you recommend. You guys are the experts. We want the best. Our stuff gets used and abused, and it's just, what a pain. What a pain. What a pain. Make up these bad parts. Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm a personal. I'm really believing. You know. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, though, right? For the average person. Now, I know, Rusty, you're in a different world, man. You know what I mean? But for our customers, like, you got to make the job, right? So you get the job, and then it's like, because otherwise you go too high, you're never going to get the job. And then, but it's one of those things where I go, you know, I get that all the time. Labor's not included. You know, labor's just not included. I mean, it's time, it's gas, it's a technician, it's diagnosing, warranty the parts, you know, if it's something, because normally the manufacturer will help you on that too. But, what a mess. What a mess. Just not right. Just not right. Let's see. Start gearing up for maybe a residential. I don't want to, but, and the crappy part about having a personal vehicle, in a sense, is that, you know, like, I don't want to unload this truck. You know, the truck's got to get, it's got to go back out into the fire. I think what, Thursday's the big delivery again. Hopefully that job will go a lot faster. From what I can tell, it should, because there's going to be a lot more manpower, which will be really nice. I should just order a new one of these and change that blade out when I think of it. Where's that blade? I might have to jump off, because I might have to see if somebody can grab it. Grab another one. Felt like I swear this thing was skipping hard. Let's see here. This blade is pretty roached. This thing's, I love this thing. I wouldn't mind a smaller one though. Let's take a look skis. A little bit. Gone there. Gone. Gone. Yeah, I say she's had a pretty good. Ooh, is that a rip? No, that's not. Oh yeah, it is. There is a little split in there, like she almost wants to break. So yeah, that's cool. Glad I caught it now. That split. Right there. I can't see it with the sheen, but yeah, that one's got to go. I'm real fussy about my blades. I like when something works, I use it. I don't want to change it, so I keep the case. So hopefully I can get this same one. Sometimes these places don't have them, so you got to order them. Is this the same? Same. It's been around the block a few times. That's for sure. If it's a clope, more likely to eat it because I'm dealer. Liftmaster hasn't given me any problems when I place parts and they send me new ones later. Who is this? So I'm trying to think oh, you got to send old ones in. But that's the thing though, right? Yeah, you can send them in, but it's like, isn't your time worth something? Like if you're like, I think about this like on the extreme side. If I spend all day doing warranty stuff, right, and especially if I don't charge for it, like I don't make no money. You know what I mean? Like Liftmaster's not paying for my gas. Liftmaster's not paying for my new truck or my new van. Liftmaster's not dealing with me stuck in a ditch at a customer's because what was that? The variables. There was some variable. Oh yeah, so this thing failed. And it's horrible weather conditions. It's horrible. And it's like how does this work? And it puts a lot of stress on the system, it feels like. In my opinion. Unnecessary stress. I mean with Clopay, right? Now, I know they normally don't do this. I know that. But it's like funny listening to Caleb, right? Caleb's like, so why don't they send this? I mean, he's like, didn't you order this through Clopay? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, they don't send a spreader bar? And I'm like, nope. He's like, they don't send a whip? I'm like, nope. And then he's like, what else was it? What else were we missing? We didn't have split collars, which is extra, which I kind of get that. I can live with that. But the spreader, they don't send the bracket for that gear head. Which I knew that was kind of the case, but it would be nice. And I don't think anybody, honestly, and then he was monkeying with something. And I told him, I said, dude, you got too much faith in the system, man. I said, you think these engineers are going to be out here holding your hand and taking care of, because I think he was looking for some kind of legs or bolts. He's like, where's these? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, they didn't send them, I guess. You got to get your own. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. Welcome to the world, buddy. It's like, we got to solve the problems. And it's like, that's why I think, I forget the word. I got to talk to the wife, Tron, about it sometime, but we call it, we're the end. It's like we're the end installers, which is almost like the worst. Because I think about that vendor that one time. Oh, it's falling off. Stay on there, please. I don't want to cut my hands off my gloves. And, he was kind of sugarcoating me, I think. He's like, well, you make more money on the install. Do we? Do we really? I mean, I know we do, but, it's kind of weird when you think about it. Because the problem is, if you're only one guy in a truck or whatever, there's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? And so something you got to take in consideration, right? So my buddy, right? This is my buddy. He was working at ABC. And I already know how the system kind of works, right? So he's sitting there and he's bragging to me. He's like, oh man, I'm getting into sales. He's like, I don't make all kinds of money. And I'm sitting there just kind of like, dude, I hope you do. I hope you do. I really hope you do. But here's the problem. And that's why this is a double-edged sword in this business. It's because the more you produce, the more headaches you produce. Does that make sense? Because darn well if you install one door, you know what I mean? It's not such a big deal. You did it. You did a good job. You took your time. But you install 100 doors, there's going to be roller problems. There's going to be customers that leave brooms in the way. There's one that's going to crush a cat. There's all these things. But then, so now you did all that, but you got to be running around. Let's see if she's down there. Gotta put my hand somewhere. I don't burn it. Cutting the right way. Yep. Perfect. Looks like charm. All right. So, that's just the thing. That's the myriad of the. And then when, like I said, what irritates me is that we're getting more inferior products. So that's kind of a bummer. The products are not getting better. They're not lasting longer. They're not built with better quality. So it's a double-edged sword. But yet, we're supposed to be. It's like watching these mechanics, right? I mean, I'm watching one guy, and he puts a 5-year warranty. I'm like, what? Like, how does this dude do this? Like, he puts a freaking 5-year warranty on this. He's like, good thing this customer, he's like, but he's like, the radio cost, $1,400 3 years ago. Now it's $3,000. We're going to eat it. I'm just like, like, now I don't know. I don't think he said anything about labor, but I'm just like, oh, I was like, sounds like that warranty needs to come down a little bit. A door, is it gonna be a door link you're picking up on Thursday? Ours is we're lucky on this one. That's a big door. It's at 23 by 16, another one. That one's gonna get delivered. So it went pretty smooth. We'll see. Hopefully the scissor lift gets fixed. I called in a request to the rental company, but it's kind of like, I was kind of thinking, I was thinking about you, Rusty. I was like, man, I was all like, this is a 50-50. I was like, for one, I was like, this lift is really pissing me off. Like, I was like, I would never buy this lift. And then, for second, it was like, this is kind of nice because it's actually a pretty big company, so we can rent it. And I looked at it. I did a little clip on it, and I was just like, all right, this is beyond me. Like, we're just going to call somebody. So I called them. They said, the guy acted, of course, at first. And I thought, typical salesman, and he's like, I'll get this over to the service. He goes, but you guys are so close. He goes, I don't see why they couldn't get somebody out today. It's like 1 o'clock on a Friday. Come on, man. Like, no grown ass man is going to come out at 1 o'clock on a Friday. By the time they get there, it's like 2, 3, 4. And they're not messing with it, dude. So I said, that's all right. I said, if you can get somebody out like Monday, Tuesday, I just kind of sugarcoated a little bit. I said, we kind of need it in service on Wednesday, which actually we don't need it till Thursday, but you got to leave Wednesday for a little buffer. So I figured, we do that. Heat up the hands a little bit. Thursday. Oh, you take him back. Clope. Heck, that works. That's way nicer. We don't get that kind of service. You know what I mean? I think they just recently said, like, I think we got to get like an RGA actually from Clope even. So you got to call LiftMaster. You got to deem it's warranted. And I think Clope will take care of it, but I don't know exactly if they're going to grab it with a truck or how that works. But it's like potatoes. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it and I go, it doesn't, like, to me, I go, it still costs seconds, costs minutes, costs hours. And I just go, just give me a damn good product. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to deal with, like, I understand like 1 out of 100. I'd go, meh, you know what I mean? Maybe, right? And if it was like a weird, like, especially like on the customer or something, like weird power outage, but it's like I said, I bet I've heard about, I don't know, somewhere in like the 10-ish, give or take, range of these things, And some of these weren't even installed by us. These were done by a bigger competition. And so obviously Genie and LiftMaster get them from the same vendor. So it's really messed up. It's like, I'm like, how do you screw this up? How do you screw this up? Like this is a very primitive part. Like, how does this mess up? Like, that just blows my mind. It's like saying, like, like this extension. It's like, how do you mess this extension up? Unless you use inferior metal and it breaks. But like, it's very, very basic. Very basic. Ooh, I don't know how many openers on the year for the ones. It's quite a few. Like I said, I bet when it comes to, I had somebody message me the other day, and they said, "Do you still believe?" You know, they were doing a commercial. They said, "Do you still believe the Genie commercial?" And I said, "Yes," because we just installed the LiftMaster, that gearhead, and that was basically the same model. That the board went bad like 6 months later. Now, hopefully, this one doesn't have, and it isn't always, but like I said, it's one of those things when me and Cap were talking the one time, and it's like, when did you ever change a board in a Genie? It's like, never, you know. And I think, like I said, now we got one between us out of the, I don't know how many years now. It's got to be over 10. We've been installing them, and they just work. Now, obviously, this was on a Genie. This was one of their 3 buttons. But my guess is they're coming from the same warehouse in a sense, or manufacturer. So that failed. But that's not cool. So that's just across the board. I find that, But let's see on the. But I bet you get probably, like I said, there'll be a video eventually coming out with the LiftMaster with the LED problem. And so that was interesting. That was a big conundrum. Oh, you've had some too, Rusty? That's getting to be a little more common, it sounds like. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when, there was a new building put up by some other builder. So we didn't do the doors or openers or anything. And then we do the service work for them, though. And I bet out of 8 doors, I think Cap's done like 4 or 6 of these. And I mean, I was like, I'm sitting there like googly eye looking at him like what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, the buttons just go bad. I'm like, what do you mean the buttons go bad? Like, how do they go bad? Like, I've never heard of that before. These were beautiful. I used to install these, and these things was like, you ain't gonna have no problem with this. It's just a button. And now it's like, now we got problems. I don't see it. I'm gonna look for the other ones. Bailey's here. Holy cow, where you been? Been out working? Two bars on that one. Just gonna get this charged up. 6 amper. Found my 6 amper finally. Decent size. We need a little bit, it's just a nice overall size. That and the 5. Or you gotta go big dogs when you got big stuff, the 12 amps. Where should I put this guy? But I guess it's also another reason too, right? You try not to be a long distance loser because it causes chaos. But, so luckily I ordered a few. But as far as I know, I didn't look. One of the ladies looked. They don't make, these are those variables, right? They don't make 1 1/4 inch for this, both sides. They do one side, but they don't do both sides. So I merged this one together so I could still use it. I had to steal one. But now we had to order a couple more. Now, but do you know what I mean? Like, it would have been nice. It would have been real nice if Clopay would have sent us the right spreader bar from the get-go. Like, I didn't know they even made 1 1/4 inch shaft on openers. I know they did the main shaft, the springs and all that. But, yeah. So now we got to order a couple more and hope they come in by the appropriate time. So we had to get that. We had to get the mounting bracket. The mounting bracket's already at the shop. They didn't send us enough chain. So, like, what do you guys do? What do you guys do for them to send you the correct chain? Now, we've had this at the shop. Now, right, with the LiftMaster, they gave us the gold. Now, this is the Genie stuff, but it's the same chain, right? So I had to steal the stuff at the shop. So now we're short chain in a sense, right? I mean, we got enough. Oh, this is the stuff right here. Yeah. So it's like, where did we go wrong? We ordered the whole damn thing from Clope. It's like, I mean, you think they send you enough damn chain? Nope. You know, so there's just all these little things, man, that like you have to, you know, so we had to get more chain. We had to get more disconnect, the disconnect chain. We had to, you know, luckily we had a package, which actually reminds me, I got to add that to the list. Oh, that's not good. That one's called out of commission. That one will leave you stranded. Straight from from the box. Wow. Wow. I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it. It's really irritating. Really irritating. What's up, Evan? Were you working today? Oh, shields, man. I didn't even notice that. Wow, that's kind of a better fit, isn't it? Canadian brother indoors. What do you got? Yeah, what do you got for this week coming up? I think. What do we got? I'll see what I got here in a minute. Oh my gosh. God, what does it say here? Got a door to look at tomorrow and still working out how I'm gonna side mount storage place with low headroom. Which model? The 9. That's a big opener, isn't it? Isn't that a little door too? It's like that's a big monster opener. Maybe maybe battery backup on this one too, right? That has battery, I believe. I think Monday is going to be a recoup day. Jack shaft residential for low headroom. Like I said, the only thing I know is I just you just don't put because I mean for one, right? Who knows what you're getting for hookups? I mean, if it was like an AMAR, I think AMAR is pretty good about doing inside hookups, but if it's anybody else, I don't even know what Clope. What's Clope normally do? Rusty, is it outside hookups with the bracket and stuff? Which I absolutely hate. I think that's nothing but a hazard, you know, for kids. And I've cut my fingers on them before, reached inside the cables to push a button or something. So, but my thing is I just don't do it. I don't do it. I think it was a smaller door, but I don't think this would be up Evan's alley. Like it was a challenge for me, and it took me extra time. Probably took me an extra 2 to 4 hours to put a side mount. You know, that side opener that I did with the bracket. If it's a smaller door, a bigger door, maybe like a non-insulated. Like really, it has to be. You ever feel like the job site talks to you? You know, like almost like it's got witchcraft or voodoo or something, or like it's an Indian burial ground or something. Like you're just like, man, this is too tight. This doesn't. The variables are just not feeling good. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is going to be crawling all over me. This guy does like a wood shop in here, so there's dust everywhere, and or the jam's not right. I mean, you know how like you just get to jobs and you're like, this is going to take way more energy than I think it's going to. Like, I've done this long enough. I just know, and so I'd be real questionable about putting on like a 16 by 7, you know, with the jerky jerk without putting it in the center and off to the side. I just personally know with me, I have so many more options with a trolley than I do with a jack shaft. You know what I mean? That's why they've been around. That was the first thing. You know what I mean? They didn't go the other way around. They didn't come out with, um, jack shafts first. They our founders, our fathers, they knew that that was, you push the door, you don't drop the door. Um, so like I said, I still can't get on the bandwagon of, I'm a very functional guy. I can slam my top header if it's not sealing, if I need to. Um, what else? I mean, there's all kinds of weirdness. It's kind of simple. To a jack shaft is simple. You don't have to deal with the trolley. It's maybe with a 48 LM extension kit as well. Not sure next week yet, but today I have to wash 2 trucks, change mirrors out. Oh man, and wash my wife's personal. Oh my gosh. With drop down Luxor. I'm inspected door already. Supercraft with inside hookups. Okay, well that's not so bad. I mean, that feels a little better. I swear my vendor always told me, like, you do not do, like, it's a no-no. Now, do I think it can be done? Yeah, to some degree. But it's like that top panel never sits right. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much nicer if you got that push of that opener top, that trolley. Now, you might, Evan, just put it out there. If you can get your hands on Wayne Dalton, they do a 3-inch low headroom. But there's a caveat to it. It will bring the door down in the jam a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, the door will be hanging in the jam. So, like, if somebody's trying to fit, like, a pickup truck with a topper, or if it's just a little granny or whatever, not so bad. Or they're just walking in there, and maybe they're, whatever, not, well, I think you said it was 8 foot. So, I mean, you should have plenty, you know what I mean? Like, you should have room if it's like a storage place. So that's why there's, like, all these variables. But Wayne Dalton was always good. That's why I always liked Wayne Dalton, because they had 6-inch low headroom and they had 3-inch low headroom. And then you slap a Torque Master on there. Typically, don't quote me on this, you have to ask the vendor. You put a Torque Master on there, that already saves you another 2 to 3 inches. Voila. You know what I mean? So sometimes they were a little better about that. But with 3-inch, you might be okay doing a regular standard torsion. Going into deep end. Yeah, that's true. You'll learn. Like I said, it's a matter of getting those brackets and that top. Sometimes you got to trim the verticals, or I'm sorry, the horizontals, to try to get the door to push. I think they got that sneaky bracket crap and all that. That stuff makes stuff a nightmare. You know what I mean? So that's why a trolley, man. A trolley. Never tried the door, so I should double check clear for a trolley. What is that symbol? Is it like Chinese? So we're going to another building on the property. Oh man, you gotta save that time. Gotta make time. And don't forget the pictures. Don't forget the pictures. You can do so much with pictures. It's not even funny. I think this will break your action. Just have to take the tag off. Gotta watch the time a little bit too, because my phone's gonna start probably around 2 o'clock. It's gonna start getting real busy. Oh, I forgot. I don't know if Tanner's still on. I think it's I did a quartered one, so I don't know if Tanner's still here or not, but I got a quartered gear for that spring turn. I think that should work. It's a gear one. I wanted something slow speed. I think it's 2 speeds, but it's like got a big old gearbox. It's like a 90. So, and it's a 1/2 inch chuck, but obviously I'm gonna probably be using, I don't know what Tanner uses. I'm assuming I'm just gonna stick, I think it's either 9/16. I'm just gonna clamp that on there and away I turn. But I'd hate to get there and decide, and we don't use it enough. So I figured this would be a better option for $175 for a big gear head, and it's a Milwaukee. So I figured at least a better brand. Almost did the Harbor Freight. So I don't know. I think that'll work. I think. Kind of wanted to go. There was a DeWalt. So I've had good luck with some of the big heavy duty DeWalt stuff. It's like they built the stuff right back in the day, but it was kind of muddy. Like it looked like dirty, and I said, no. I said, I just can't even. I can't even offer this guy. He just seems, something seems off. So I tried to veer around him. Plus he was local, but oh well. I think that's what it is. It's a Super Hog. It's a 90, but this one's got like, instead of it just being like the stem, it's got like a gearbox, and then it's a 90. It's what do you call it? I think it'll work. I mean, it's going to be a lot more power. I don't think I have anything that big. Besides, when I got impacts, but you don't want to run an impact on your. So that hopefully will come in at the right time for the spring. Which actually, I was hoping, I wanted to actually talk to Tanner, because I was going to ask him about that brute winder. If you could actually get, if it comes with the 1.25 inch spindle, or how does that? Do you have to buy the accessories? Let's see. So heavy. So heavy. I was so bummed. So bummed. We didn't get to use this guy. We had to wind those duplex by hand. That sucked. I mean, I think this thing's probably, I gotta check. I don't know if this thing has any instructions, but obviously 1 inch. So it looks like, I don't know for sure if it's just basically cut out that weld when they don't put this insert, that makes the inch, because it looks like, my guess is if you look right here to here, that's probably the 1.25 inch diameter. So we got a whole new gear assembly coming. This one obviously pops out. So this thing got some little, I didn't notice this writing on here before. What does that say? Martin something? MD something? Huh. I don't know. We need something to turn that guy, because I sure as heck don't want to hand crank it. What's going on here? Oh, that's as far as it goes, I guess. I don't want to be pulling out my hand crank. Might have to have Tanner send me some pictures. I'm not, because Tanner, how do they for that brute winder? Do you have to have another insert for the guts to make it 1.25 inch? You know, or then 1 inch. Kind of like what's going on, you know, with this one. You got to have a different gut. then I was like, well, how do you even, like, I was watching when I was doing the one with PT. I was like, how do you have different, like, these are my different, this is 2-inch. So that's your 2-inch, right? I was like, how does that work with those? Do they come with different knuckles like that? This is a 4-inch. I should find out what this thing says it's rated for, because I don't know if they kind of tell you, just so I don't have this thing go kapowie. And I'm like, why'd it go kapowie? There's 6-inch, which has obviously got a longer base to it. Don't know. That's what I'm running for right now. I haven't used it enough to say it's good or bad, but I just like it's compact. Do your thing. Away you go. Advise me. Love it. Use for brute winder. You need 2 people. I almost wonder if you need, scooting one across it's gonna have to sit on the scissor lift on the rail when it's scooting. But you need 2 people for what? He says to run the brute winder, steer, tighten set screws. Oh yeah. We ended up this one. It only came with 2 set screws, so actually Cap came up with a good idea. He goes with this big a spring. He goes, I set them in the keyway. I'm like, yeah. I said I can't discount that. I said we'll jam them in the keyway. So we had to find that perfect spot. Of course, being in a lift, so then you got to kind of hold it and drop the lift, and the bar is outside of the lift, and one guy's holding the bar and one's tightening it. One guy, I can do it, but not comfortable. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of metal, man. There's a lot of stuff moving. It's gonna be a little bit of a butt cruncher for me to be trusting this thing. Tell you what, my shoulders were burning, winding it. They were burning, so I'll take it. We'll try it out. Wind bars. Turns out of that if you need. Just push. Brute winder. Then wind it just a little past. Yeah. Yeah, these ones are 16 turns on those duplex. And so you almost got to go 17. Is what I found out. Because I ended up doing 16 on everything. And then we did 17 on the 2 inners. It's kind of weird, I was thinking about it, Rusty. I was trying to look when you messaged me about that, saying not putting the springs together. And I was like, I guess I never really thought about that. And I was thinking, well, I don't think that would work because obviously the load would be on this, certain pad versus spreading it out. But then I was going to look for the shop drawing because I know the secretary sent it, but couldn't find it right away, so I just kind of was like, whatever, I said. But that was kind of a good idea. Tight set screw with a battery ratchet. I used, you know what, Tanner? I forget which one you're running. I think. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Let me see. I think it's over here. So I was making adjustments by myself. So I got me one of these guys. Now this is only, I think they got a new one out. They didn't have it there at the Milwaukee. But it was like, I think it's 70 foot-pounds. And I was thinking about it, I don't know if I need 70, So this one I think is 30. I don't think it says. think it's online somewhere. I read it was 30. But when you're dealing with a big old spring like that, man, I was like, dude, it's like I'm kind of struggling here. I was like, this is my ratchet wasn't, it's like it's not clicking good anymore. And so I was doing like a quarter. And I'm like, I was like, I just got this ratchet thing, man. I gotta use this thing. So this works out. I didn't know if I wanted the extended version, so I just went with this route. But check that out. That's pretty nice. That is nice. Doesn't really put a lot. It does enough. It'll make your hand kind of move, and then you got to give her a few extra turns. It feels like, but whoo, man. Especially when you got to take the set screw out of that keyway. That's a long way, especially when you're holding bars and you're up in the lift by yourself. And I was like, come on, man. I was like, I gotta get this. That works out pretty good. I think that's going to be I think that might be a new game changer. We'll see. Unhook to the next one. So hopefully with the, if you're using a brute winder or the sure winder, you can make a little more adjustments when it's in the lift. I'm sure the lift, you should have, when we were both winding at the same time, and man, was that lift swing. I mean, we were doing our best to not make it sway hard, but every time we let the bar rest against the scissor lift, it was like, I mean, it felt like it was moving in like at least a foot, and then it'd be back out, we'd pull back out, and it was just like, oh my gosh. It's like swinging everywhere. I told him, I said, can't we kind of do it like in a misfire, kind of like a V8, so we're not swaying here. Oh, man. Well, I think we got this thing about wrapped up here. This is probably an old one I had in the trailer. This is probably actually an old good one. I wonder what the difference is. I should tear them apart, see if I can find a difference. This one still says, made in China. Made in China. This one will have that button. This one says a UL rating, 5 amp, 200, what does that say, 240? VAC max for copper only. I think I might crack this open and take a look, because I'm pretty sure that might be an old one. Maybe something on the outside will show me a little different. Alright, so here's this one. She's been around the block a few times, but 24 VA. What is this? M something import. MTC import. Okay. This one's got a silver screw in the bottom. This one does not. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong end. Sorry. Okay, no silver screw. Let's see if we can visit. This one, the stop feels. Made in China. Stamping looks the same. I can't say for sure. Made in China. My tools are sweating. Not good. Not good. And these little boogers, right? These little screws. Those little screws you can't lose. I always put them right back in. If I'm on the field, I put them right back in right away. Right away. I don't set them on those little bumpers anymore. I've had them, I lose them, and I always tell everybody who I'm working with, I'm like, you lose those? I was like, I can't reproduce that. So what is it? You got to use a 6-wire, right? A 6-wire to hook up this LED. which you should probably do because it gives you a lot of information, right? All right, so there's clear in there. I'm just gonna kind of take a quick, easy peek at this. I see something white in there that's just, like I said, I never really evaluated these. But like I said, it might be a good, something changed. I mean, it's just as bad as like when those loop stickers at one time, my vendor, I get all the way to the job, I don't check them, right? And she's like, what did she say? She goes, I get there, they don't work. I said, these loop detectors aren't the same. She goes, they are. I said, they're not. I said, they're different colors. Okay, so looks like it's got silver. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing right off the. Cool if I could find an older one. Like an older one. That's out. Yeah, I don't see nothing right away that looks obvious. Something they cheaped out on. Guess it is what it is. Guess we may never know. I wonder if they're doing. Got 2 contacts in there. It's kind of like those. Remember those wall buttons somebody was talking about? How the wall button they started cheaping something out where it's only got. Well, I think there was a guy on the old interweb that was showing it how it doesn't have. They only have 1 click instead of 2 clicks. Pretty extensive. I was like, wow, that's pretty smart. I don't see nothing on this I can say is for sure. Maybe it's that little LED. That's the problem. It's the LED screwing everything up. I normally yank them out. But I think they are kind of helpful for diagnosing if you... We only ran 4 conductor over the years. So we do have some 6, I think, but I got some old stuff. If you look to the right of the camera there, that stuff's really old. So I'm trying to burn that up. And then I think it's so cold. Even this new stuff right here, this was splitting on me. Like the coating on the outside, I was like, geez. It's like I was trying not to be too rough on it. Oh yeah, you rip them out too? I think they're kind of like, I think you can push certain buttons and like program from the ground. And then I was reading the instruction a little bit, and like if it's blinking a certain way, that's telling you what error it has. So, I think they're kind of nice, but I never do it because we always have four conductor. And as far as I know, you got to have a 6 conductor. Gotta make sure you get these in just right. You know how that goes. Otherwise, they won't function. Interesting. A lot of 3-button problems. Something so simple. And it's never like I get a good, what went wrong? Plastic piece, or it's like it's just a mystery. It's a very simple little device here. And for most of the, most people probably understand that, your stop button's got to be continuous. And you actually break the stop button when you push it, where this is like you're completing the circuit so if you're stopped, you don't hook this up. And a commercial and you're wondering why it's not running, it's because it's got to stop. It's a safety. I think the best way is always to think about it like a hose, running water. That's kind of how I was always told. Taught. I don't know if Evan, you never sent me no pictures. You got that truck? You starting to figure out the algorithm with it? Are you doing like any kind of bins? Whew. I was looking at one, had a topper. I would definitely do that. I'd do a full slide out if I could. I ain't gonna lie, these pack outs, I thought was kind of like there's a lot of stuff that goes to this, right? I don't even want to admit this, but they work pretty damn good. You know what I mean? The idea that they interlock, I switched up something. I actually bought this one because I had a big one under there, and I'd put two big ones in the interlock. So I didn't like it because the one day I caught myself. I already went to the job site or whatever it was, and I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "I never locked that down." So, which I use these bungees, which I get these bungees from Home Depot. And I tell you what, I am a lover of these. They're UV protected, so they last longer. They don't. I haven't had any go bad. I've had them for a couple of years now. They don't get any stretch or anything to them. They're nice and stretchable. I like. You would think these adjustables are really stupid, which I used to, but they're so handy. You can just loop it through, and I get, like I said, these ones I can only get at Home Depot, and boy, they work nice. They work really nice for just holding stuff, and I keep them up here on the board, up above right here. I keep them up there where I stash them. So you go from so this is what I used to have, right? I think these were, I don't know if these were Home Depot as well, but what I didn't like is the metal always a scratch in the paint. You know what I mean? Like underneath the body, and it just really harsh on everything, right? The metal. I didn't like the metal hooks. And then this is only about a year. You know what I mean? Now it sits in a compartment for an emergency for something, but this is what it does because these aren't UV protected or whatever. So they're always, I was constantly chasing them in the metal. But these worked okay. They did work good because you could slip them through when you have to make adjustments pretty nicely. And I even tried a couple of these guys. Same thing though. Problem was metal. The other problem I had with these ones is the holes. Is there a hole there? Let's see. Oh, it did push through. There is a hole there. These are not very forgiving. You know what I mean? They're just, like I said, it's metal. If you got a nice truck and you're clamping under the wheel wells and stuff like that, or the lip on the bed, I mean, listen to that, scratch all your paint off where it's going to rust. Not that it'll rust probably out there before it ever rusts in the bottom, but like I said, man, these junk. I use these other ones, like I said, all the time. The plastic's really nice. These are, like I said, these are already about a couple years old now. These ones, they haven't been, stop by a couple when you're there. But I really enjoy them. I use them to hold down I got conduit. I got some angle up here. I got some C clamps right now because we use the heavy angle to lift up the spring. Always got to carry some loose sockets. We didn't have loose sockets. Boy, we got really messed up on that. Don't forget, you should always be carrying a marker, and you should always have on you electrical tape. I just found another use yesterday for some electrical tape. Oh, and don't forget your red tape. I think I actually got to restock. Let me check. I got to restock my red tape here. I think. I sure do. I sure do. Always keep yourself some red tape in your door. down. That'll get you in some trouble. That'll get you in trouble. There's that. Alright, let's check this guy out. Good enough. The old charger will probably decline it anyway as it stays charged. What can I say? Oh, these pack outs are just way better. So here's a theory, right? Here's a theory with these pack outs. The problem is you have to do a lot of digging, right? So I like having all my stuff compartmentalized. Like I got a framing nailer that's all nails are in there. I don't typically, I keep the batteries all in one spot. Then I kind of got, these are my power tools, right? But since I have so many power tools, I don't, I got to carry 2 bins. But if I have to get to it, I have to go down there. I have to get it. So what I'm getting at is that a van would be probably easier in and out in your racks, because I think what we're going to do at this next job is we're going to actually bring a job box, and I can just throw my tools in the job box and then they stay at the job, because otherwise I got to take stuff apart, put stuff back together. So that is a really pitfall. But I haven't really noticed on the residential. Residential's kind of nice because you just normally bring your couple bins, you bring your hand tools, and you kind of got everything, right? More than you should ever need. But the commercial, it's a little different because you're coming back multiple days, and I don't know, it's just something different about it. I just don't like it. And the weather. Some of these boxes got a little salty because I threw them on the ground. The ground conditions were not courteous. All right, we're starting to hit the red zone on the old phone. Oh, there she goes. She already said 20% left. If you guys got anything, message me. Got pictures, message me. I am not going to be doing nothing until I go to bed, except just pitter putter and stuff around. I got to put my list together for tomorrow. So wish me luck. Thanks for watching, you guys. Take it easy. Keep those fingers. We'll see ya